planning, designing, and monitoring system improvements that impact children, youth, families, and their communities. And I love this idea here around family engagement for a few reasons. One is, as we think about, with my organization and who it is we're aiming to serve, how am I getting their input? It sounds so basic, but many times we forget to talk to the people we're wanting to help about what they need. Also, as we start to think about, and this quote highlighting that really kind of that need for diversity. So as I think about the families I'm wanting to help, do I have those, who look like the families I'm aiming to serve? Do I even have some who have the lived experience? This is where different organizations, and mind you, they may refer to the individual as a different thing, but we're starting to see more parents in a role as like a family partner, or a kind of as this teen is, figuring out who they are, they do not feel parent or family would accept them. And so this might be conversations we're having, but they're dead set on like, I do not want my parents to know, and there might be some safety concerns at play, and that might be in a circumstance where we aren't engaging family in that way. As we start to think about, what is it like when that 15-year-old has just been so hurt by parent, or 15-year-old, sees parent is just so self-involved that they don't have capacity for me. So I think it comes about as to kind of why is the client resistant to having parent more involved. And and sometimes also depending what state we're in, because in some of our states, a teenager can consent to services without the parent. So if teenager doesn't want any setting really, but this example is with a school. There was a teenage girl who grew up in generational trauma, so also a lot of adversity and stress growing up in poverty. Mom worked her tail off, took any work she could get, and they still struggled to get by. And the teenage girl was starting to have some behavioral issues at school. Again, not surprising, just given how much trauma she had been exposed to. And when parent wasn't answering the school counselor's phone calls to have a meeting, one day the school counselor told the girl, man, your mom must not really care about you, because if she did, she would show up, she would answer my phone call. And that probably was said out of counselor's frustration, because she was trying to help the kid and was frustrated that mom didn't answer the phone. But what counselor didn't realize was that kid already doubted whether or not mom loved her. And
she's gonna say, well, that cares. She spoke to me, but she spoke to me as a parent, not as a caseworker. She spoke to me about her kids and what she went through and how she dealt with it.
She just taught me basically stuff I needed to know: how to cook healthier meals for my son, how to make sure I keep everything clean and comfortable, how to give myself services that I need. I wasn't alone. We did it all together. And you gotta learn how to hold them close and let them go too. I guess I thought if I let him go, he wouldn't come back. He's always coming back.
She has the parent peer support group, and she started talking to me about it. And she was saying, you can come and pick up on parenting techniques. And we get to help other parents by saying how we accomplished certain things, what we went through, and how we dealt with them.
She just basically said, what are your goals? What does your future look like with your son? And then she got more into my schooling and me going to training and me bettering myself as a person and not just doing mandates.